Alright, so welcome back to German with John Berlin, and today's topic is how to make plurals in the German language. Now, it's infamously said the German plurals are the most difficult to make, but we'll do our best to simplify them. So what do I mean by making plurals? It's just like when you have a noun, you want to make it into plural. In English, it's pretty easy. You make it just by adding a s, like man, like for example, let's take an example of car, cars, yes, toy, toys, building, buildings. Yes, most of the examples can be made in this manner. But in German, it's a little bit more different. It depends on the gender of the noun. So if the noun is, as per the rule number 7, masculine, then you'll need to add a e in its plural form. Yes. If a noun is feminine, you'll need to add a n or sometimes a en depending on the noun. Yes. And if the noun is neutrum, then you'll need to add a er. So these are guidelines which will help us to get the plurals of most of the German nouns. And also we need to look at the articles. For example, in nominative, the plural article is der, die, das, die. Yes. In accusative, the plural article is den, die, das, die, just the same. Yes. And in dative, we have the plural article dem, der, dem, den, and we have an extra n. Now, what is this n for? That is what we'll get to know in this lesson. Where does this n get utilized? Okay. Now, we'll get to it in a moment. Now, first we go ahead and have a look at some tips. Now, when we'll be making these plurals, we'll need to keep in mind if a noun has er as an ending or en as an ending, in its plural form it remains the same. That means we do not change the endings in plural. Yes. Also, if a noun has sometimes a, u, o in plurals, it becomes a, ö, u. Yes, the umlaut forms. So these are certain tips and tricks, and let's get started and see what do the plurals in German look like. Perfect. So the first word is der Tisch. What is a Tisch? Tisch is a table. It's masculine, like you can see with the article der. That means you go to masculine. And now we need to make a plural, and we'll make the plural like this. Nominative and accusative plurals will be the same because they have the same article die. So we'll write die, and then we'll write Tisch, and we'll add the ending like written under the rule 7, e, that's Tische. Fantastic, you got the plural. Now we'll do dative. So the Tische would be applicable for nominative and accusative. Okay. Now dative, the article for plural is den. So we'll write here den. Yes. And then we'll write Tische, just like Tisch. We'll add the e, Tische. Perfect. Now there is this n which we have along with the article den. Now this n is basically meant for the noun. So it'll be added to the noun in the end. Den, Tischen. Fantastic. So in this manner, the plural dative articles and the plural dative nouns are easily identifiable by just looking at the n in the end. Yes, that it's a dative plural. Okay. Now we'll move forward. Schrank, it's like a wardrobe. Yes, like a cabinet. So let's find out. It'll be in the plural. Let's first use the plural article for nominative, accusative. Schrank. Schrank is der, which tells us it's masculine. We go to masculine and we write the noun and add a e, but then there is a little rule we forgot. There is a here, and the a changes to a umlaut. It doesn't remain Schranke. It becomes Schränke. Perfect. Yes. So that's how it looks like. Schränke. Now in the plural version, we'll again write for dative den. Yes. And with den, we'll write the plural Schrank. We'll add the e. We'll change the a to umlaut. Yes. Schränke. Na. Schränken. We'll add the extra n as well, which belongs to the article den. So der Schrank, die Schränke, den Schränken. Fantastic. Similarly, we'll do it with the next word, Baum. It means tree. It's masculine. We can see it by the article there. We go to masculine, we add a E. Yes, so first we'll write the for nominative, accusative, plural. Then we'll write Baum. We'll add a E again. We missed one thing. There is a A. It needs to be changed to umlaut. We'll change it to yes. Bäume. Fantastic. Not Baume, but Bäume. Yes. And in the plural, we'll take up the dative plural here. And we'll take den. We'll write here den. And we'll say once again, Baum, we'll add the E. Yes. And we'll change the A umlaut. A to A umlaut. Perfect. Okay. Fantastic. And we'll add the N in the end. Bäumen. Where does the N come from? The N comes from the article den, where it has an extra N to be put with the noun. Perfect. The Bäume, den Bäumen. Now we have die Lampe. By looking at die, we know it's feminine. Der, die, das, die. So we go to feminine and we have two options. Either we could add an N and an EN here. There's already an E. We'll add an N. So it will become die Lampen. Perfect. Making it into plural, the article is den for dative. Yes, we'll write den. And the plural of Lampe is Lampen. Now the question is, will we add an extra N in the end of the dative article plural, den plus an N? And the answer is no, we will not, because there is already a N. Two N's wouldn't really look nice. So we'll just keep it like that. So when there is already a N, we do not add the dative N. Okay. Buch, that means book. Yes, book is, as we can say, das Buch. There the das, neutral. We go to das, neutral, neutrum. And the ending is ER. So we first write the nominative, accusative, plural. We write here Buch. And we add the ER. It becomes Bucher. But then again, we forgot. U changes to umlaut. U umlaut, so it will become Ü. Bücher. Yes, so let's write down Bücher. We go to plural of dative. The article is den. We'll write here den. We'll write Buch. Add the ER. Yes, and then change the U to umlaut. And in the end, we'll add the extra N, which belongs to the dative plural article. Den plus an extra N. Bücher. Perfect. Going to the next one, das Fahrrad. Now, Fahrrad is bicycle. It's a compound word made up of fahren, which is to drive, and Rad, which is like the tire. So the driving tire is like a bicycle in German, right? Now, how can we make it into plural? When we have a word which is made up of two words, we only make the plural of the last word. The last word is Rad, and it's das Rad. It's neutrum, so we go to neutrum and we add basically Fahrrad, Fahrrad. But then in the last word Rad, there is a. We'll change the A to yes, A umlaut. So it will become Fahrräder, and the articles for nominative, accusative would be the Fahrräder, the Fahrräder. And for dative, again, dative plural is den. We'll write Fahrrad. We'll add the ER, change the A, second word here, to umlaut. And then in the end, we'll add the N, which belongs to den. Yes, part of the article. It goes to the noun, Fahrrädern. Perfect. Fahrrädern. Super. Now, similarly, I would recommend you do the other nouns by yourself, and please be attentive of the rules which are written here. That means if a noun ends with ER or EN, yes, like in Lehrer, which ends with ER, there will be no change in its plural form. Only the article will change, but when you make the dative article, it'll get the N of the article. Yes, perfect. And moving forward, you'll also find some international words like auto. They will be made into plurals just like we make it in English by adding a S. Perfect. So this was a little about how to make plurals. I would say do the rest of these by yourself and cross-check with the answer book. I'm sure you'll be able to get them right. And if any confusions, you could rewatch this video here. All right, so till then, I'll take a leave and I'll see you in the next lesson. This is John Berlin signing off. In the next lesson, we'll be doing how to make a noun into feminine and how to make a noun into diminutive. More about it in the next lesson. Bye-bye.